Hi folks, Bob Krebs, Sales Manager with Pure Pursuit Automotive, and standing here tonight, our most recent acquisition, this beautiful 2014 BMW M5. Beautiful alpine white color with every feature imaginable. This is a fantastic vehicle, and I'm going to start first of all with the engine. This is a V8 32 valve 4.4 liter engine, which is absolutely immaculate, as you can see. And as you can tell from the entire compartment, everything is very easily accessible if necessary. We'll move on to the front of the vehicle. Here we have the nose of the vehicle, which is really offset by the sharp contrast of the darker blacks and silvers, along with the alpine white. Got our Parktronic sensors here for parking aids, and of course our absolutely beautiful and reflective BMW adaptive LED light system. And of course it's got another unique feature here, which is kind of a honeycomb aspect, which focuses and keeps that light headed in the right direction. As we move along, we're going to take a look at these wheels, which are 19-inch aluminum and Pirelli radials. And what I think is really unique is this beautiful cobalt blue calipers on the wheels, which is a real enhancement. Moving on to the rest of the vehicle, I'll point out on the doors here, it has a unique feature of a light. So as you come up to the door in the dark, you're lit so you can find the door very easily. Moving into the interior of the car here, got these beautiful soft leather seats with a black interior, which is a very beautiful color combination, the white car with the black interior. You've got the wood grain features here against this, which are fantastic and beautiful. And here's another very unique feature about this vehicle. It has what's called the soft close. And that means even if you don't get the vehicle door headed to be closed, and it'll close anyway. I'll show you on this door as well. You don't quite get it headed closed all the way. It pulls itself in and shuts it, locks the door. It's got a pressurized system. Moving on to the back of the vehicle here, again, continuation of the Parktronic assist system. You got the quad exhaust system, and in addition to being very efficient, it's got a pretty throaty roar as well. This is the trunk area of the vehicle here, where you got some storage area. You've got your emergency air system down here to where you can fill up a spare tire if necessary, should you have a flat or a low tire. Little storage here, and of course you've got the compartment that will allow you to run something that's a little bit larger in this car through and being held in the front seat. And of course when you pull this down, you've got the rear camera and the lighting in the back here, which that camera is your backup light and your also backup camera, so it assists as you drive the vehicle and back it up. So we're going to start this thing up now and take it out on the highway. Let's see how it sounds. First of all, I'm going to talk to you about the instrumentation area here. Obviously on the left, from the left, you've got your fuel tank indicator, you've got your speedometer, obviously going up to 200 miles per hour, and you've got your tachometer, and then on the right side you've got your temperature gauge for the radiator. You've also got your mileage indicator and your speedometer indicator, which are all digital as well. Over to the center console of the vehicle, we have the rear camera. That's part of the backing mechanism, which is a parking assist. And as we start to leave, there'll be a little bit more about that as we back out. You'll see how the feature works and how the Parktronic parking assist works for the vehicle. As you can see right now, the front of the vehicle is scanning because we're close to the front of our building here. So it's starting an indication that we're close or getting closer to a potential object that we might run into. We've got the array here of first of all, I'll go ahead and start with the heating and cooling system. You've got a side for the driver and a side for the passenger to be able to control each of theirs. If the driver's too hot, can turn that down. If the passenger is too cold, they can turn that up. And of course, they can control the seat heat over here as well, from really warm to not so warm to not warm at all to not on. Same with the driver, same way. Of course, you've got your rear defrost, front defrost, maximum air conditioning, recirculation of the air, and the fan power here to be able to turn the fan up as high as you wish it to be or as low as you want it. You've got your emergency hazard lights here in the center, the locking mechanism, and of course you can control the vents for each of the people that are in the vehicle, left, right, front, center, up and down. The center console of the vehicle, obviously you've got your shifter here, which enables you to put it into drive and the different modes that we've got, including a sport mode, etc., which I'll indicate in just a moment here from the steering wheel controls. And again, it also has a media portion of it, so where you can select different types of multimedia, radio, telephone, the navigation system, and of course the rest of its vehicle information in different settings. So the vehicle itself is very unique in the fact that it's literally a touring car where you can go anywhere with. It's got so many features and so many attributes to it, and it's got so many creature comforts. I'm 6'5", and I'm sitting here completely comfortable with my legs literally laying on the bottom of the seat, and it's even got a footrest at the bottom for the driver, so you can kind of rest your foot here rather than have it dangling or stuck up against something. So it's very, very comfortable in the cockpit of this vehicle. It's got several different 12-volt outlets, so you can plug your computer or any other electronic device into those as necessary. Another feature of the steering wheel itself is that it has essentially all the capabilities of the center console, and that means you can control the phone access, you can control the radio, you can control different modes of the vehicle, including the fact that right now this indicates that it's in Sport Plus mode, and then as you change these, you can change the modes of the vehicle into what type of, whether it's going to be sport mode, comfort mode, or efficient mode. So you can do all that without having to ever take your eyes off the road to come down here to go to the center console. It's also got the paddle shifters on the side here, which are going to help assist you with your driving, setting different aspects of the vehicle. And on the left side of the door here, as you have on the right also on the passenger side, you have all the controls here. The mirror controls, where you can turn the mirror in, out, up, down, and get the precise way that you wish the mirror to be able to be positioned so you have optimal view. It's also got the power windows, up, down, obviously, that you can control from the driver's side here. And another very unique feature, which I pointed out earlier in the walk-around, first of all, the seat has memory settings so that several people can drive the vehicle and not have to change the settings each time. Let's say a taller person's number 1, possibly a shorter person's number 2. And then, by pressing this, it turns on the massage for the seat itself. So as you're driving, and I can feel it now myself, it's a nice, low vibrating, calm, relaxing massage. It's not bone jarring or anything else. It's very, very comforting, and it feels really good, and I can imagine on long drives how nice that would be. This has another feature also, which is very unique, and that is the rear shade. As you depress that, it puts the shade up automatically, which controls how much additional lighting that you may not want to have on you, or as the afternoon sun begins to go down and becomes a bit of a hazard, you can pull that shade up, and of course you can put it back down again just as easily without having to get out of the car and open doors and pull over. The center console features also a snap-in adapter for a telephone of whatever model that you've got, so that you can literally put the phone in and charge your phone while you're driving. It's also got an auxiliary input here, and a USB port, and of course another 12-volt receptacle for any other electronic equipment you may have as well. And of course you got a little bit of storage space here to put some things in there, possibly some gloves or driver's license or maybe a few small tools. Next is the rear air conditioning and heating unit that has controls for the people in the back seat, so that way they don't have to continually ask the folks in the front seat to assist them in controlling their heat and or cooling area. They've got the knobs here that obviously turn the heat up or down, and of course they can change the flow, the settings, and as far as where it's directed, and the controls on the temperature as well. The next feature I want to point out is the sun/moonroof, which now you can get a really good shot of the Alcantara suede headliner here, which is absolutely beautiful. It's not only soft, but it takes in a lot of noise and creates a lot of sound reduction. So it's wonderful for this for the beautiful stereo system in here as well. So again, to open this, I'm just going to press that back, which opens it to the clear glass, so that that's contained within the vehicle, so that you can even be driving if there's rain or if there's too much wind. And then to take that back the rest of the way, you just hit it again, and you can open it fully to where you've got an entire open area here for maximum comfort or enjoyment of being able to see the outside. Another couple of features I wanted to point out of the vehicle is that it has a heads-up display, which you'll be able to see in all of the high-definition single photographs that our videographer is taking as well, which means that the front of the vehicle here, in the windshield, the driver can see a projected heads-up display of the miles per hour at all times, which means he doesn't ever have to take, or she doesn't ever have to take their eyes off the road to be able to glance down to see how fast they're going and what their speed is. It's a very unique feature of this vehicle. Another thing is the stereo system speakers. There are 16 Harman Kardon speakers in the stereo system throughout the entire vehicle, which give you a beautiful, rich sound for whatever music you're listening to, whether it's classic, rock and roll, or any kind of music that you favor. The first thing I want to put your attention to is our backup camera here, which gives you an idea of what it looks like when you're actually backing this vehicle up. And as I noted earlier, you can see the front sensors going off now because we're very close to that building. So again, you can see essentially both sides, and what gives you the most accurate track here as you're going backwards or sideways or wherever you're trying to head to park, or parallel parking, etc. What that's indicating to me is that I need to go to the left a bit and then straighten it out a little bit. That way I'm completely missing any of the obstructions behind me as I back up. Now, it certainly doesn't hurt to use mirrors. I think everyone knows that. But a parking assist is certainly an amazing piece of adjunct equipment to have on any vehicle. And of course, a lot of accidents are backing accidents, and in this case, this should virtually eliminate that if you just use it and pay attention to it. Okay, let's go for a ride. You can sure see those LED lights in this vehicle. They're sweeping lights that provide you with a very accurate view of the roadway and of course on all of your surroundings. I've got the navigation system turned on so that you can see where we're going and where you're going and where you're headed, which street you're on, and of course you can also set this with the maps and be able to navigate directly to whatever place you're headed. So we're going to head up this road here just to give you kind of a general idea of the handling characteristics of this car. And of course I can see my heads-up display there as we go 26, 27, 28 miles per hour. And I'm going to give it just a little bit of gas here in a little bit so you can see how that runs. But in the meantime, essentially, it's very comfortable to drive. You've got your shifter here where you can put it in a different mode as well. And of course, you've got your horn on your vehicle, and the vehicle itself also has a heated and cooled steering wheel. Very easily maneuverable. The front cockpit of the vehicle, it's very easy to see in and out of. You got a lot of clarity, so there's not a lot of obstruction to it, and it's very easy to see. Drive the wheel, you can literally just drive it with a couple of fingers. I don't advise that, but it literally is that responsive and that easy to hold, and it's a very easily driven vehicle. We're going to go ahead and take a turnaround here and head back. And this is going to give you yet another idea of what the backup camera looks like. And of course, it automatically shifts into backup camera anytime the vehicle's put into reverse. So you can't forget to have the backup camera on. Even vehicles that really weren't that close, it still indicates that there could be a potential danger, and it puts off a beeping noise. And like a lot of radar systems, that beeping noise gets faster and faster as any object that could be an obstruction gets closer and closer to you. Again, it's a very easily driven car. It's a traffic car. It's an outside car. It's a road car. It's a mountain car. It's something that you can take on many trips anywhere you like, and it's just an amazing vehicle for comfort. I can't imagine driving a vehicle that has more features than this vehicle has, particularly on long trips. And of course, in this case, you even got the Bluetooth microphone where once you put your phone together, you can have hands-free telephone conversations or cellular conversations, which again, that's the full intent essentially of most of these creature comforts in this vehicle. They're also safety comforts or safety features because they eliminate the driver having to take their eyes off the roadway. So they're using their hands, they're using their eyesight to touch various aspects of the vehicle and the features to do the things they need to do, and keeping their eyes on the road, which is the most important thing possible. You can certainly call from this vehicle without ever taking your eyes off the road. So I'm going to give it a little gas now to see how it looks and how it feels. And as you can tell, this vehicle has got a lot of horsepower, a lot of pickup, and a lot of performance power. So it's not a cream puff, it's a not a lightweight, it's a heavyweight. But at the same time, it's in a luxury class that, again, not a lot of AMGs are. This vehicle is a standout, and that's one of the reasons why we have all sports badged vehicles at Pure Pursuit Automotive. This is the type of vehicle that's in our demographic. It's the ones that we feel are most marketable to us, and we're the type of enthusiasts that truly enjoy these types of vehicles. One last thing I want to share with everyone this evening is we have a seamless and transparent process, and part of that is disclosure. And in this case, I can tell you that in observing this vehicle, in the 168-point inspection that we've conducted on this vehicle, and in all of us looking at it, the management, it is literally almost a completely 100% perfect vehicle, with the exception of one small little scuff. And that's a little tiny thing right here, and although it is barely visible and contributes to nothing at all, we always disclose everything in these vehicles that we feel might be a problem later on down the road. So thanks for taking a ride with us tonight. Again, I'm Bob Krebs, Sales Manager of Pure Pursuit Automotive, and we'd love to be able to have you come down, take a look at the vehicle, take a test drive in it, and take this thing home, hopefully. Our number is area code 816-659-3027. Have a good evening.